We've talked a lot about the issue of food deserts and the impact on communities, especially the east side of Buffalo. But that area is also considered a book desert, defined as a geographic area with limited access to age-appropriate books, print materials, and reading culture. Now, at the beginning of last school year, think of this, only 33% of economically disadvantaged children in the Buffalo School District were reading at grade level. Meantime, in terms of adults, roughly 30% of them qualify as functionally illiterate. In the city of Buffalo, it's 10% higher than the national average, according to Literacy New York Buffalo Niagara. Now, this is an issue that the team at Investigative Post has been covering extensively for years now. Reporter Garrett Looker is out with a new deep dive into this topic that you can read right now at investigativepost.org. And Garrett joins me here live in studio to talk about this. Great to see you. Thanks for coming in.
Good to be here. Thanks.
I mentioned you've covered this for years. I followed your reporting on it for years. This latest article, just to bring everybody up to speed, gets into some of the issues, the long-standing issues. Walk us through how we got to this problem.
Yeah, so this is an issue that affects a lot of areas in the country, and it affects Buffalo, specifically Buffalo's east side. And it stems from 20 years ago, in 2005, severe budget cuts from the county. A quarter of the library's budget was taken away, and they were forced to make changes. Those changes resulted in 16 libraries being closed, 5 of which were on the east side.
You mentioned in the article 3 miles, right, to try to get to a library in some spots. You also talk about solutions, which are always important, right? What are some of the things that are sort of on the table right now?
So right now, and this is what the article was about, this follow-up, was that there was a meeting between a community advocate and the director of the library system talking about how to overcome these big problems and what solutions might be on the table. And what they came to were 2 solutions, 2 goals, if you will, a short-term goal and a long-term goal. The short-term would be increasing use of the bookmobile, which is it's a vehicle that has 3,000 books and other materials. Wow. And the long-term goal might be building a physical library or opening one in the neighborhood.
Your reporting also mentioned last year the county raised its library budget by $1.6 million. It's a 5% increase. It sounds like a lot of money, but it's just a 5% increase, but it's something. How much of a difference can that make realistically?
Realistically, an increase like that would go to operating costs, is what I've been told. So something that would require, or something of, opening a new branch would require quite a larger, substantial increase of money.
So for people who are watching this who are like, when does this get better? What do you tell them? What do you think? Do you think that the sort of willpower is out there among community activists, but also elected leaders and decision makers to fix it?
Sure. From what I know of the people that I've spoken with, including community advocates and the director of the library and other individuals that are, the movers and shakers here, they want this to happen. Now, is it feasible financially? Maybe, maybe not. But I do know that people actively are trying to fix this solution, and maybe it won't be a physical library that opens, but increasing book access is on the front of everyone's minds here.
Yeah, and we brought up those statistics at the beginning because there is research showing that correlation, right, between what happens with children and also adults when they don't have access to these crucial materials. Garrett Looker with Investigative Post. Again, investigativepost.org to check out that full article. Nice to see you. Thanks.